Hello my friends, and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos, Burst of Inspiration. Before I begin what I want to say about this week, I got to tell you something. I was watching the video from what I said last year on this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayigash. As a matter of fact, I was even wearing the same sweater. But what I said last year was I was focusing on the fact that Yosef teaches us a very, very important lesson in how not to get angry. Yosef was taken away from everything he knew, everything he loved by his brothers. He was sent down to Egypt. He was turned into a slave. Later, he became the prince over all of Egypt, but his life was ruined. And now his brothers are in his hands, and he can do whatever he wants to. And what does he say to them? You didn't send me here. I'm not angry with you at all, because you were a tool. Hashem sent me here. If we have that attitude that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in charge, and no one can hurt us, and no one can help us, and it's only up to Hashem, we'll never fear anyone, and we'll never be angry. And a person always has to work on this sense of absolute emunah, faith, and bitachon, security in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That was last year. But this year I was thinking something else. A couple weeks ago, in Parshas Miketz, we're told that Yosef had to serve an extra 2 years in prison before he was let out, because in the previous Parsha, he begged the wine steward, do me a favor, you're going to be let free soon, mention me to Paro, because I don't belong here. And it's not fair that I was put here and I was sent down to this land against my will, and then I was put in jail against my will, and I didn't do anything to deserve it. Please speak to Paro and let me out. And he said it twice, and because he said it twice, he was given an extra 2 years in prison. But something strange. This is the same Yosef this week that said, no one can help us, no one can hurt us, it's all up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You didn't do anything against me, so don't worry, I have no grudge on you. But what happened before? Before he was basing it on a human being and was punished for it. And the answer is something that King Solomon, Shlomo Melech, said. Sheva pamin yipol tzadik vikam. 7 times the tzaddik falls, and he gets up. Says Rav Tzadok HaKohen, why is he called a tzaddik? Why is he called a tzaddik, this person who falls 7 times? And we know that 7 is just an arbitrary number in this case. It means multiple times. Why is he called a tzaddik? Vikam, because he gets up? No. Says the tzidkas tzaddik. Says Rav Tzadok HaKohen, when we fall, or not even when we fall, when we're doing the same and not gaining anything in our physical world, and how much money we make, and how healthy we are, in our lifestyle, we tend to get bored, and we tend to want more. We want to be wealthier, we want to be healthier, we want a better lifestyle. But when it comes to our spiritual lifestyle, we're good if we're even keel. We don't strive for better. I'm good where I am. So what happens to that person? Kadosh Baruch Hu arranges, or the Yetzer Hara, our evil inclination, arranges for us to fall, to lose the level that we're at, and thereby to strive to be greater. It's called a Yerida L'Tzarech Aliyah, a falling in order to go higher. It's like jumping on a trampoline. The further down you fall, the higher up you bounce. So the tzaddik part is not only vikam, that he gets up, it's that he fell. His falling is part of his tzidkis, because his falling is part of him getting more of a right, becoming more of a better Jew, of a better person, because since he fell, he realizes there's something lacking, and he strives for even better than he was before. And he grows to new heights. Because if he wouldn't have fallen, he'd be happy with an even keel. Because that's how we are when it comes to spirituality. And that's how we are when it comes to being a good person. As long as I'm even keeled. But when it comes to our physical enjoyments, money, pleasures, I always need more. And the only way to get me to go further is to lose the even keel, to go down, which will shoot me back up. Yosef was a tzaddik. Yosef was called a tzaddik, a righteous Jew. One of the few people in the Torah, you can count them on one hand probably, that are actually called a tzaddik in the Torah itself. Yosef is one of them. And yet he fell. He forgot where he was supposed to be in his recognition that God controls everything. And he had to ask that wine store twice for help. But what did he do with that fall? He used it to bounce back better. And when he came to speaking to his brothers and revealing himself to his brothers, he said, I don't believe people are in charge, and I don't believe anybody can help me or hurt me, and therefore I carry no grudge against you, and God runs the world. He learned his lesson from the extra 2 years because he fell, and he bounced back better. Have a beautiful Shabbos.